everyone, and welcome to a Flophouse Mini. That's what we do every other week on the Flophouse. When we're not talking about a bad movie, we do minis, so named because they're mostly shorter than regular episodes.
Basically, yeah.
And they're a little more freeform. Today, I'm in the driver's seat, and
Watch out.
Buckle up. Is the
Buckle
game
up.
master in town?
well, maybe could be
Either want to buckle up or you want to stay unbuckled so you can leap out the window at the right moment.
yeah.
Remember
if you
to
hit the
roll when you hit the ground.
Yeah, if you hit the ground
Yeah.
at a specific angle, you will explode.
Wow,
Yeah, I heard it. This kid in my school told me about a guy he knew that it happened to.
interesting.
Yeah.
That sounds like my younger son has been telling me how his friend told him that when you're counting, it goes up to Google and then it starts over again at 0, and that's how numbers work. And I was like, no, that's
Yeah,
not how they work. And he gets so mad.
He was mad that he was misled.
No, he was mad
Yeah.
at me for he's mad at me
Or-
for saying that his friend
Dan's-
Rooster is
Dan's-
wrong.
Yeah, Dan's Googling this information as we speak.
I mean, isn't that the way it is in life? Like, someone tells you a true thing, and you're mad that you can no longer believe the fantasy.
Exactly.
But on that note, let's go into the mini. It starts like this. It starts right now. Tomorrow, as we record this, tomorrow is my Dan McCoy's birthday.
Very
it is-
exciting.
It is
Happy
the same.
6-0.
Glad I remembered a gift.
You don't need to. It's
see.
fine.
Wait, no, I brought
No,
something.
Stuart's going through his pockets.
You're coming-
Now he took his shoes off and he's shaking them to see if anything comes out.
You're coming
just
to my
moths?
birthday celebrations. That's enough for
moths.
me. What'll fall out of my shoes that I can give to Dan? Anyway, my birthday, of course, is the same as Garfield's. June 19,
And
1978.
Juneteenth also.
Sure.
Dan's birthday's a federal holiday?
But that's
It
not
is.
that's not a birthday. My birthday is the
It's the
same
birth of freedom.
as that's true. But
A new birth of freedom. Yeah.
to the year, Garfield the cat, whom we all know and love
Go on.
from
yeah.
the comics pages,
I
is
mean,
the same.
Normal doesn't love. Well, Normal probably
Normal
still
still
loves
likes
him.
him, yeah.
Normal likes Garfield. Garfield does not like Normal.
What about
Spiders
Arlene?
don't like
Does
Garfield.
Arlene like Garfield?
I think Arlene's position on Garfield is undetermined at this time.
I think Arlene just sees money signs when she looks at Garfield. Yeah.
But Garfield celebrates his birthday. Who knows? In the comics page every year on my birthday, making Garfield the oldest cat. But anyway, Garfield, of course, currently setting the box office on fire. In the week of this recording, still at number 4 on its
Wow.
4th week of release. Of course,
That's
for the
not
first
bad.
3 weeks, it had the advantage of being the only kids movie in theaters, so that probably juiced the stats a bit. But it's
Yeah,
made
Inside
about,
Out 2 probably bumped it down quite a bit. Yeah.
yeah, but it's made around $218 million on a $60 million budget as of this taping. Despite, I hear, eliminating most of Garfield's already meager personality from the film. But we aren't here to talk about Garfield. We're here to talk about birthdays
What?
and birthday twins.
Then why were you talking about
no,
Garfield all that much?
No,
Hold
not
on.
Garfield specifically. We're talking about birthday twins.
Oh, birthday twins. Okay.
And the fact that Garfield has a successful movie in theaters was the hook to get us into this.
Oh yeah.
I don't know that you. I don't know. It
We're
felt like we took.
snared. We're
it took-
snared in the web of Dan's
It
creation.
People
felt like we
are
took a
loving
longer
this.
detour down Garfield Avenue. Than was
People are
necessary.
loving it. They love that plus size cat and his love of lasagna, and they love.
But we're not
this-
talking about that cat now, Dan.
No, not anymore. But that's what got him in the door. Garfield was a loss
Yeah.
leader
Oh, I
the-
see.
Yeah.
the rest of this.
Dan,
So this-
I feel like you could pull off like a Garfield costume for Halloween.
Oh, for
Sure.
sure. Yeah. I don't know if that's a compliment, but
It's a compliment.
yeah.
I don't know what you mean by pull off. Like, it's a Halloween. Everyone's wearing a
No, but I
costume.
mean, like you could also like you could zhuzh it up and bring the personality that
Yeah.
Garfield has too. Yeah,
It's true.
better than
I
Chris
do,
Pratt. There, I said it.
Yeah.
I-
I'll say
so
it too. They
co-
should have
kinda-
cast Dan.
I
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
not care for spiders, so at least I have that in common.
What about
But anyway,
what if for Halloween you had to dress as someone who shared your birthday?
Well, we're gonna find out. If
we're going to
that
find
would
out in
work.
this Birthday Twins episode if you let me get to it.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
So I was prepping for this episode, right? I looked up.
That's
famous,
new.
Actually, it isn't. These
Whoa, Elliot just did a Bazooka Joe flip take out of
it
frame.
is. It is not new. These mini episode prep sessions actually take far longer than one would expect. It took much of the day yesterday that was not spent cleaning the apartment for Meredith, who came in.
Yeah,
and was
you
kind
can
enough
hear
to
it all
record
on
with us.
tape too.
Anyway, when I was prepping for this episode,
Mhm.
I
A thing
you
that
know, I-
happens regularly.
I
Yeah.
checked to make sure I had you guys' birthdays down. I looked up famous people born on your birthdays.
Yeah, when Dan texted us to find out our birthday, I was like, is he trying to find out my fucking star chart?
Mhm. I know I'm trying to steal your
Yeah,
identity.
so I texted my mom. I'm like, "What time was I born?" And my mom's like, "You're married. Don't listen to her."
Okay. less squirming in your chair. You're banging the camera. You're
I
banging
know.
the
I'm getting
camera.
excited.
Okay.
Dan's mini
Yeah.
sounds like so much fun. I'm just getting worked
Mhm.
up.
Yeah, we're talking
So-
about birthdays, not Garfield, unfortunately, as I was led to believe
Well,
at first.
we might
We could be.
circle
We'll
back.
circle. Well, who knows?
I
Anyway.
feel like every audience member during Kangaroo Jack's first theatrical run
Yeah,
who
yeah.
went in expecting a movie about a wisecracking rapping kangaroo and didn't get it.
Yeah. So I looked up famous people born on you guys' birthdays.
Oh, okay.
And to clarify, unlike with me and my birthday twin Garfield, in most cases the year will not be the same, but just the date, the month, and the day. So
Stan, do you have a framed copy of the first Garfield?
I don't.
That'd
you-
be a
great
great
present.
birthday gift. Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
a great birthday gift.
Probably pricey these days, but who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. What's the comic buyer's guide valuation on the first strip of Garfield? Near mint. It doesn't have to be mint.
No, it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be total man. I mean,
Well,
a
let
little
me
bit of raggedness adds some character to it. Yeah.
We check this edition of Wizard and see what they say.
Mhm.
Yeah, Wizard covers a lot of comic strip prices. Yeah.
That's the gag.
I know.
All right. Anyway, when I was okay, I said that part already. From that list of famous people,
Yep.
I have for each of you, I've assembled a special birthday-themed movie playlist.
Okay.
Now, it's going to be you have 6 movie twins each. Each of these movies I'm going to talk about is related to someone born on your birthday. First, I'm going to see if from what I say, well, not really from what I say, but I'm going to see whether you can guess who your birthday twin is, who's
Okay.
associated with this movie.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to ask you what characteristic you think you share with this person who shares your birthday.
Okay, interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
So we started with me addressing my birthday. So in descending age, we'll go to the second most decrepit Flophouse co-host,
Yep.
Stuart.
Yeah. I'm just falling apart over
Yeah.
here, folks.
Yeah, despite
Stuart.
being in the best shape of all of us, I'm actually
Yes.
Stuart is actually 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
So Stu, you were born on February the 26th. And in your birth year on February 26th, Kramer versus Kramer topped the box office.
Ooh.
Mm.
And then also doing well in theaters, Foxes, starring a young Jodie Foster. And then after that, question mark, because records for that time are oddly spotty. I could not find further box office information, but that's just a little color. That's setting the movie stage.
you're just painting a picture. I
Yeah,
get
no,
Yeah.
this is just the Garfield moment for this part.
Yeah.
Unnecessary
Yep.
information, to
Yeah.
confuse us.
It's all-
pad
it's
out a
part- It's the
runtime,
journey,
you know.
homie. It's not the destination.
It is
Yeah.
on the Flophouse. It is 100% the journey, not the destination. The premise for this is thin. It's the curlicues along the way that make it interesting. Okay, the first movie, Walk the Line from 2005, a musical biopic, of
Mhm.
course, about legendary country star Johnny Cash, directed by James Mangold and starring Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny Cash, Reese Witherspoon as June Carter, and Robert Patrick as Ray Cash, the non-comedy version of the Wrong Kid Died character from Walk Hard.
Mhm.
A little
Okay.
fact I found out about this movie. It had its origins in an episode of Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, where Johnny Cash guest starred, became friends with Jane Seymour, and began talks with her ex-husband James Keach, who was directing that episode, about making a movie of his life, Johnny Cash. Of course, it went through a lot of changes since then, but that's where it started. And so, who do you think, Stuart? Maybe you know who was born on your birthday. Who do you think
Man.
inspired the inclusion of Walk the Line on this birthday movie megamix?
I don't. I'm kind of struggling here. Is it? It's not Johnny Cash.
It is the man in black
Whoa,
himself.
Oh, wow.
Johnny
man.
Cash was born on February 26, 1932. So,
Let's see. What do I have in common with Johnny?
what do
Cash?
you have in
Well,
common,
we're
do you
both
think, with Johnny
cool as
Cash?
hell. That's
Both.
one thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Super cool, somewhat self-destructive at times. Yeah.
That's 100% true. Let's see. Something about a Ring of Fire that works.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I feel like I could do a show. I could do a show at a prison, right?
Yeah, like what kind of show would you do at a prison, do you think?
Uh,
Well, what's your
yeah,
ask?
like I'd like teach them how to paint Warhammer guys. I think they'd get it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they'd love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
meditative. That
Yeah.
would help, with
Pass
sort
the
of-
time, man.
I mean, the warden may
Anger
ask you to use
urges.
a slightly less violent form of painting object, but maybe they won't. I don't know.
Yeah,
no,
love,
I'll
love
use,
hammer.
but I'm using a gun, a paint gun, an airbrush.
Okay, so I started out on an easy one, of course. Johnny Cash, the obvious guess from a movie about Johnny Cash.
Jonathan Cash, yeah.
No, so wait, it couldn't have been one of the actors in the movie we're talking
Could have
about?
been.
Okay, could have been, but wasn't.
You'll see as we go on, the associations may become more whimsical.
Also,
but-
Tenuous.
like Joaquin Phoenix doesn't have like Pisces
birthday.
vibes. Like he doesn't
No.
have birthdays.
he doesn't have birthdays.
So
He,
method-
he is and always has been and always will be the Alpha and Omega, yeah,
Mhm.
without beginning or end. Joaquin Phoenix.
Now, the next film is also from 2005, and it is
Is this for
Dave
me or for
Chappelle's-
Stuart?
This is for Stuart. They're all for
Okay.
Stuart, and then they go to you after
Okay.
the break.
You got it.
Dave Chappelle's Block Party. Now, while I'm not a fan of the man Dave Chappelle seems to have become, or perhaps always was,
Mhm.
this is a great concert film. Fortunately, you can mostly ignore him and enjoy the amazing performances, directed by Michel Gondry and featuring the Fugees, Dead Prez, Erica Badu, Common, The Roots, Black Star, and Jill Scott. Shot very close to one of my old apartments. A great Brooklyn concert film.
I remember
Yeah.
you're in the movie,
Yep.
right? Leaning out your window and yelling at them to turn it down
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's not.
to stop that noise.
Who would you say? Who would you guess?
I think this is still a guess, but I think I'm right.
Yeah.
Is it Mos Def?
No, actually,
Oh wow.
your birthday twin is Erica Badu.
Oh, that's
February
cool.
26, 1971. Saw her in concert at Celebrate Brooklyn. It was a very, very, very hot night. She apparently had plane troubles, took the stage very late. In the meantime, I saw several people being taken out on stretchers because it was either so hot or maybe substances were involved. But the great compliment I can give to that concert is she was so good. By when it started, no one cared. No one cared how hot it had been.
That's
But
true.
she is your birthday twin. What do you think you have in common?
Man, I don't know
with
enough about Erica
Neo soul
Badu.
artist Erica Badu.
I do know that if I show up late, people forget that they were mad at me that I was
Right.
so late.
Because you're so charming once you're there.
And I am late a lot. Let's see.
That's true. I'll vouch
I
for
think
that.
that's a
That's pretty good.
pretty good connection. So yeah. That's your place in the Flophouse.
Okay.
Late coming charmer. Okay. So moving a little bit back in time. 1997. The year is 1997.
hmm
The film on your Megamix is
Mm-hmm.
Hercules, the animated Disney take on the legendary Greek hero whose adventures you can continue to enjoy in comics form by due to a comic written by Chex Notes Elliot Kalin.
That's right. On comic store shelves now from Dynamite Entertainment, it's Hercules.
Alex, edit out Elliot's plug because this is my section.
Don't do it, Alex. Don't do it. Make sure people know they can buy
This
Hercules
is
at
all
comic
about
stores now,
me,
written
not
by
about
me.
Elliot.
A little bit more about Hercules. Maybe there's something in here. Maybe there isn't.
Mhm.
Directed by the legendary animation team of Clements and Musker, starring the voices of Tate Donovan, James Woods, Danny DeVito, and Susan Egan as Meg, the sexiest Disney heroine not
Yeah.
named Elastigirl.
Yeah. What? Esmeralda from Hunchback's pretty hot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole plot of that movie.
The whole plot is that she's so hot that the bad guy is losing faith in God, right?
And he
Yeah.
has like a legit banger of a song about
Yes,
it.
he does. That's a great Hellfire. That's a great song.
Yeah, it
And what about
rules.
Maleficent, Dan? Is she not a protagonist? I'm talking about the animated one, not the live action one. The
Sure.
animated one, the one who can turn into a dragon in bed.
For me, that makes it a little too scary for me, for my own personal taste. I like that.
That's fair.
Like Meg has a real sort of like sadder but wiser, sardonic attitude I respond to.
And you'll be seeing a lot of that attitude with Meg in the Hercules comic book. Meg's a big part of it.
Okay, that's great. So,
Not the
first
movie The
off,
Meg.
Yeah. What about the
I
Meg
was so
2?
disappointed when I went there. I was like, oh, finally, more adventures of my favorite
Where's
Disney
Megara?
heroine.
Oh, it's a
Mhm.
giant shark.
Let's see. And the movie's Heracles.
Yep. Spelled with a K.
Let's see. Why would it? Well, I have, in a way, my life has been 12 labors.
Doesn't even have to be someone I mentioned. So
And
Cool.
I was born to greatness, but I
Mhm.
really had to like learn about it
Yeah.
and really push myself
True.
to really achieve greatness. Let's see.
didn't have it thrust
there's that
upon you. You
There's
achieved
that
it.
one time I wrestled a guy, but I could only beat him if I lifted him up off the ground. That was really cool.
How about
And
a
I had
lion?
to clean out that shitty stable that one time.
Yeah, you moved a
that
river,
was
yeah.
horrible. But I did it. That's the thing. Some would say that was kind of laborious. I don't know.
So do you think that you think
I
that
would
you
say
share
I'm
a
hoping
birthday
it's
with
not James Woods.
half god Hercules? Is what you're.
Yes, yeah. I'm saying please don't be James Woods is my guess.
You're in luck. Your birthday twin is Michael Bolton, who was born on February 26th, 1953. He, of course, sang the soft pop end credits version of
Mhm.
Go the Distance for the film Hercules. Now, what would you say you have in common with Michael Bolton?
Notable heads of hair.
Yeah.
That's the
strong
first thing I would've thought, too.
jawline. Yeah.
Yeah.
And surprisingly funny when put in situations.
It's true. When asked to do comedy,
He's good.
Bolton delivers. All right.
This is a good mega mix so far, Dan.
Yeah. Honestly, I have to say your mega mix is movies that mostly we got a questionable one coming up, but mostly I think would be a good
A good birthday mix for me.
yeah. Elliot gets into
Ooh.
Well,
okay.
no,
Well, we'll
it's
get there.
just-
We'll get there. Thanks for the like tease.
you know what, Elliot's is not bad except for maybe a few notable. Anyway,
Mhm.
so moving on, the next film is Les Miserables, the 2012 version based on the classic novel. It is the 48th adaptation of the book worldwide, and thus far the last one, although there is another one in development. Now, this 2012 version is based on the popular Broadway musical of the same name, and it stars Hugh Jackman, Russell Crowe, and Anne Hathaway, who won an Oscar for her performance as Fantine. And here's some trivia for Les Mis 2012. Russell Crowe thinks he can sing. So that's
He is a
little-
rock star, Dan. He does have a band.
he
What?
does have a certain
odd
number
foot
of
of
feet
grunt?
of grunt.
Yeah.
He does have about 30 odd feet of grunt. Yeah.
Okay.
30
Yeah,
foot of
around
grunt.
30.
Okay.
Not an exact measurement of grunt.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's Anne Hathaway. But I want it to be. Who is it, Dan? Who's my birthday twin?
This one's a bit of a trick. Doesn't matter that it's the 2012 version because your birthday twin is Victor Hugo.
More like Victor Stugo.
February 26, 1802.
Okay, almost actual birthday twins.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Almost the same year. What would you say you have in common with Mr. Victor Hugo, one of the most famous French novelists?
Well, I would say both, I would say probably my second favorite Street Fighter character is Hugo, and I bet that's the same thing for Victor Hugo.
Yeah, probably.
You're saying so? Yeah. If Victor Hugo was a selectable character in Street Fighter, you
No,
would
what I'm
enjoy
saying
it.
is
No.
that if Victor Hugo and I were sat down in
Oh,
my
I see.
apartment to play some fucking Street Fighter, we'd be fighting over who gets to play Hugo.
Yeah.
And then I
I
would have
must
to
play him. He has my name. Oh, you go.
and I'm like, well, okay, then I'll just play my normal number one favorite, Zangief,
Yeah.
or Zangief, as he sometimes.
You show him a DVD copy of Hugo. You're like, why don't you watch this instead, Victor? While I
Distract him.
play?
That's a powerful finishing move. Is distract
Yeah.
him with a DVD of Hugo.
He's never seen a movie before, so he's like, "What is this?"
Enjoy the magic of the movies, idiot.
He's trying to chew on the DVD. He doesn't know what to do with it.
That's not a baguette, buddy.
It's a tribute to the early days of silent film, asshole.
The next movie
Mhm.
in this
I've
premise.
never actually seen that Les Mis movie. Is it good? Bad?
It's not great. I respect the choice that was made to have them record the sound live for the singing rather than juice it up in the studio and make it sound.
Like auto-tune the shit out
Yeah.
of Russell Crowe?
But it's shot in a lot of extreme close-ups, which are kind of weird. And as previously said, like Russell Crowe, he does fine for a man who's not a Broadway singer, but he's not a Broadway singer. Anne Hathaway is very good in it, though. Anyway, the next movie, Buffalo Bill and the Indians, or Sitting Bull's History Lesson, 1976. This film is directed by Robert Altman, one of my personal faves, so it is odd that I have not seen this movie.
Similar. This
But,
is one I've been actively putting off seeing for many years.
Really?
Yeah, just because I'm worried
Actively
it's not
putting-
going to be very good.
Yeah.
Altman,
IMDb,
sometimes you get a great movie from Altman. Sometimes you get a quintet where you're like, I should have not watched this.
Well, you know what? I'll skip to some trivia for this. Maybe that'll make it more interesting to you. Apparently, Paul Newman cites this as one of his favorites of his own work. So it edges out movies like The Verdict, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, salad dressing commercials. So he likes this one. But IMDb describes the plot thusly: a cynical Buffalo Bill hires Sitting Bull to exploit him and to add his credibility to the distorted view of history presented in his Wild West show. Starring Paul Newman, Joel Grey, Kevin McCarthy, and Harvey Keitel. What do you think?
I'm going to shoot the moon and hope that it's Paul Newman.
Close. Your birthday twin is Buffalo Bill.
Oh.
Birth name,
okay.
William Frederick Cody. February 26, 1846. And presuming that you know as little about Buffalo Bill as I do, I will present what I gleaned very quickly about him. A Union soldier in the Civil War. He got the
Okay.
nickname
That's still
Buffalo
good
Bill
guys, right?
as the result of a contract to supply workers for the Kansas Pacific Railroad with buffalo meat.
He killed many buffaloes.
Two more buffalo meat.
A writer named Ned Buntline wrote highly fictionalized stories.
Buntline. Ned Buntline.
That's
Sounded like
what
you
I
said
s- that's what I
buttline.
said. Okay. Anyway, wrote highly
No,
fictionalized.
because there is such thing as a butt line. It's just the line in the middle of a butt.
Pretty sure I did say Buntline, but I enjoyed
Check the tape.
butt talk. He wrote highly fictionalized stories and a novel based on Buffalo Bill's tales of his life, which became a hit play and led to Bill having his touring Wild West show, which had various incarnations, but combined theater with horse tricks, with shooting, with lies about Native Americans. So that is Buffalo Bill. What do you think you have in common with historical figure
That's
Buffalo Bill Cody?
I would say the fictionalized story of Stuart Wellington is a little bit larger than the man himself.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I could use a cool little animal nickname in front of Stu, like Buffalo Stew.
Buffalo stew. That's pretty good. I mean, but it sounds like a dish, like buffalo stew.
It does sound
Yeah.
like something you would eat. Yeah.
Instead of Buffalo Bill, which sounds like a
the bill you
currency?
get
Yeah.
for eating
Bill
buffalo
you get for eating
stew.
all that buffalo.
Hey, can you bring me the Buffalo Bill, please?
And
Waiter, Buffalo Bill, please.
mhm. So this next and last for you, Stuart,
Mhm.
film
What a
is,
mix so far. Pretty
Yeah.
Mhm. Very unexpected.
This
Mhm.
one is just short. It comes at the end. Odd to put the short at the end, but that's the way I did it. It's Red Hot Riding Hood from 1943.
Classic.
7-minute animated short in which a wolf is horny for a human female nightclub singer.
Makes sense.
Directed by Tex Avery. Sarah Berner provided Red's speaking voice. Connie Russell was her singing voice. And Dawes Butler, whom you may know as Yogi Bear, Snagglepuss, Huckleberry Hound, is one of 2 listed voice actors on IMDb who did wolf howls for that short, while 2 other voice actors did wolf dialogue. So it took 4 actors to bring the wolf to life in Red Hot Riding Hood. And here is some trivia I got from the wiki. Apparently, the short originally ended with a shotgun wedding between Red and the wolf, but censors nixed that because they thought it implied bestiality. So it was replaced with the family-friendly existing ending where the wolf merely commits suicide by shooting himself in the head with 2 pistols. So that's
I love
where he-
also the whole cartoon is about how much this wolf wants to fuck this woman, and they're
Yeah.
like, we can't show them get married. That implies that that there's a sex thing involved.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like me.
The wolf can lust for the woman, but
Yeah, I see, but she can't give into it. Yeah.
yeah. So what do you think? What do you think in this situation?
Well,
do you think it's Red Hot Riding Hood? Do you think that's your birthday
I
twin?
think the character is probably not me. That's
Yeah.
probably not the wolf character.
Mm-hmm.
We do have some stuff in common. Wait, who's the animator?
Tex Avery.
I'm gonna guess Tex Avery.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Born Frederick Bean Avery on February 26, 1908. So what do you think you have in common with famous animator? Why did I can't talk today, guys. Animator.
It's okay. You're
Tex
just a
Avery.
podcaster. I would say, I don't know, like, we're both horny weirdos who like comics and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
That's pretty
You
straightforward.
are
I feel
a
like
horny
that's,
weirdo who likes comics
yeah,
and
that's me.
stuff.
and stuff.
You like stuff as well. You don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
I
pin
mean,
them
I
down.
don't pigeonhole me.
No,
Yeah.
it could be lots of that. You were also instrumental in the development of Bugs Bunny, right? Just like
That's
Tex
the
Avery was.
other thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, we've reached the midpoint of this mini. So, Elliot, why don't you plug our Boston show, and also maybe if you have any personal projects you want to talk about.
I'd love to. Well, I'm always working on myself, on my own emotions, on how I'm either resilient or resistant or active in this world. So that's the biggest project right now. It's called Me. But before we get to that, let's talk about how the Flophouse is going to be in Boston, Massachusetts. That's right. We're going to Boston. That's a Boston accent, right? Now is the part of the episode where I, Elliot Kalin, tell you about our upcoming live shows, and I do it at the same time we record the rest of the episode. It's certainly not a message that was recorded later using information we didn't have at the time we were recording the episode. We're all right here in the room together, just like normal, recording the whole episode, right, Dan? Yeah. Right, Stu? Oh, yeah, dude. So let me tell you about it in this perfectly real-time explanation. On July 26th, we will be in Boston, Massachusetts, doing a live show courtesy of WBUR at WBUR City Space. Now, as we know and certainly didn't learn after recording the rest of the episode, that show is sold out right now. You can no longer buy tickets to see it in person, but WBUR has opened up the ability for you to live stream it. So go to flophousepodcast.com/events and click on the info and ticks button for that show. It'll take you to the page where you can buy a live streaming ticket. Now, I should warn you, this is just going to be a pretty basic, straightforward, in the moment live stream. It's not going to be the kind of beautifully polished, beautifully edited, immaculately shot show that we've been doing with Stage Pilot lately. If you saw our Speed 2 show, you saw how gorgeous that looked, how well put together it was. That's thanks to the fine people at Stage Pilot. This is not going to be as polished as that. This is going to be a little more ragtag. So don't expect the level of production that you've come to expect from the Flophouse Stage Pilot collaboration. This is just us and WBUR live streaming a show that otherwise you wouldn't be able to see because it's sold out. So please go to flophousepodcast.com/events, click on the info and ticks button for Boston, and it'll take you to that page if you would like to live stream the episode because you can't make it there in person, or you couldn't get a ticket, or you just decided maybe you want to watch it both ways, and you'll be sitting in the audience with a computer in your lap, live streaming the show as it happens in order to do a lag test, I guess, maybe. Anyway, that's what you can do. So we'll be in Boston July 26th. That show is sold out, but you can live stream it. Just go to flophousepodcast.com/events for more information. I also wanted to mention 2 personal projects of my own. One of them was mentioned earlier in this episode. That's right. The comic book Hercules, or Disney Hercules, is out in comic book stores now. It's on shelves, written by me from Dynamite Comics, and it continues the adventures of Hercules, the world's mightiest mortal, hero of Olympus, and champion of ancient Greece. And it is a series that starts out with kind of individual issues, and they build to a larger story. And I'm now currently writing the second to last issue of the series. It's projected to be a 12-issue series, and things have gotten big in scope, epic in scope, and very exciting. And I'm really loving writing it. Be ready to see all the favorite characters you loved from Hercules, and also a bunch of new characters from Greek mythology.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition,
does Polyphemus show up?
Polyphemus does not currently show up, but you know what? I wish I had thought to have him in. Yeah,
He's pretty cool. You can make a joke because he only has one eye, Dan.
I mean,
I mean, I don't know what his deal is. I'm not a Greek mythology person in general.
Elliot.
So,
well, then we won't make Dan feel dumb by talking about Greek mythology too much.
no,
more,
I'm
Ronan.
curious about this guy. He seems
You'll never know.
Polyphemus?
You'll
He's
never
a really
know,
cool
Dan.
guy.
Sometimes you have to find out for yourself, or else it won't mean
All
anything
right.
if I just tell you. So the other thing I want to mention is, if you want to hear more of me podcasting, why not head over to the 99% Invisible feed and listen to the 99% Invisible Breakdown, the Power Broker, where every month Roman Mars and I are breaking down 100 pages of The Power Broker by Robert Caro. Not the same 100 pages every month. No. Each month we will
That
talk
would be
about...
the worst idea of all time.
It would be the worst, second worst idea of all time, maybe. The original worst idea of all time, I still think would be the worst idea of all time. We're covering the entire length of the book over the course of the year. Please join us, won't you? We've had a lot of great interview guests. We talked to AOC. We've got one coming up this month with Mike Schur, creator of The Good Place, among many other television shows. And
I'm rewatching right now. That's exciting.
That's a good tie-in, Dan. I'm glad you mentioned that. Now's the time to listen to it now that Dan is rewatching The Good Place. It's very seasonal and topical. So go on over to the 99% Invisible feed and then come on back and listen to some more Max Fun podcasts. But enjoy it. It's fun. Come on. It's the Power Broker. It's great. It's municipal history.
Super fun, yeah.
Psst. Hey, you. This is Stuart from the Flophouse, inviting you to a secret little event. On Friday, July 5th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Dan and I are going to be hosting another episode of The Slop House. That is a live show from Dan's kitchen where he makes me a meal, I make some cocktails, and we hang out and chat for a while. All you have to do is head over to my Twitch channel, Stuart Wellington, to catch the whole show. That's Friday, July 5th, 8 p.m. See you there.
Hey, this is Mike Cabalon,
Ifewadiwe,
and Sierra Kato,
the hosts of TV Chef Fantasy League.
where we apply fantasy sports rules to cooking competition shows.
We're not professional chefs or fantasy sports bros.
Just 3 comedians who love cooking shows and winning.
We'll cover Top Chef, Master Chef, Great British Bake Off, whatever's in season, really.
Ooh, you know chefs love cooking whatever's in season.
We draft a team of chefs at the top of every series.
And every week we recap the episode and assign points based on how our chefs did.
And at the end of the season, we crown a winner.
You can even play along at home if you want.
Or you can just listen to us like a regular podcast about cooking shows. That's cool too.
Subscribe to TV Chef Fantasy League on MaximumFun.org or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hallelujah! Hello, welcome everyone.
Step right up. We're going to heal you. We are the healers, Ross and Carrie.
Yes, you there. You look like you're upset. Come up here.
Yes, you are healed because you've listened to our podcast.
Yes.
Have you been having trouble with demons?
Are you sleeping too much, too little, just right?
We have the solution. It is to listen to
Oh no, Ross and Carrie. A show where we examine unusual claims.
We show up so you don't have to. Find us on MaximumFun.org.
We won't actually heal you.
Let us get back to the mini, turning to Elliot. Elliot Caleb, that is.
Now it's time for me to get the treatment. Oh boy.
Elliot, of course, born on December 3rd.
You know it.
In Elliot's birth year, Raiders of the Lost Ark was tops of the box office. Well, not his birth year, in his birth week, like the weekend after your birth.
Yep. Okay.
Raiders of the Lost Ark was tops. Also doing well in theaters. Reds up next. Time Bandits, Arthur, and The French Lieutenant's Woman.
Wow.
A little
All
snapshot
bangers.
of your birthday, BO.
And birthday, it's amazing how it's sad to me how few of those movies would be tops at the box office now. Basically, maybe
Yeah.
Raiders and the rest, they just don't make them
You
like
don't
that
think
anymore.
Arthur would be huge at the box office?
I could see Arthur possibly. I mean, if they would make a feature-length comedy, then yeah, it could be. But
Yeah, I mean, in the world that we
Wait,
live in,
Arthur's a comedy?
I
What
know.
are the jokes?
I know we're still feeling the reverberating effects of the strike that we took part in, but these days it's like one movie opens a week. It seems like, and that's it.
Don't blame the strike for that, Dan. This is the culmination of a lot of bad decisions by a lot of top executives.
No, I agree. It's one factor of many.
So are we talking about my birthday here? Come
sure.
on.
Okay, well let's get back to it, shall we? In the first,
Or are we still
slot,
talking about Garfield for some reason? Let's get to my birthday finally.
well, let's stop talking about cartoon cats and start talking about a cartoon monkey.
What?
Is there such a thing?
Monkey Bone, 2001. A mere 2 years after one of his biggest hits, 1999's The Mummy, Brendan Fraser stars in one of his most notorious flops, Monkey Bone, the live-action animation hybrid that put its director, stop-motion legend Henry Selick in director jail for 8 years until Coraline in 2009. It's sort of like a less horny Cool World. A cartoonist falls into a coma and is trapped in a limbo that looks like his own underground comic, while his creation, the mischievous Monkey Bone.
Dan, the name's in the title. You got you know it's not Monkey Boy.
I've been to I've been to a neurologist. I just have
Oh well, now I feel sad about it.
I just have a clumsy tongue. Anyway,
it's like if you were talking about Kramer versus Kramer, like you did for Stewart, and you're like, it's telling the story of Kramen in his court fight against Kamalu. It's like, well, come on, wait a minute. So Monkey Bone. Yeah.
Anyway, the mischievous Monkey Bone, voiced by John Turturro, inhabits his body in the real world. It's a movie that definitely has flaws, but I maintain is underrated. It has a long sequence where Chris Kattan plays a corpse. That's the most I've ever laughed at Chris Kattan. Also, according to IMDb trivia, Cartoon Network went on to make their hit late-night block Adult Swim after receiving criticism from parents for supporting this movie during their regular programming. So apparently Adult Swim exists in part to have the freedom to support things like Monkey Bone.
Wow. I still have never
That's-
seen Monkey
hey.
Bone. I've heard people
Yeah,
told
me
me
neither.
to see it, but
It has its charms. It's a mess, but it looks interesting thanks to Henry Selick. It has some funny bits. Monkey Bone. Who do you think out of the rich tapestry that is Monkey Bone is your birthday twin?
now could be Chris Kattan because Kattan and Kalen kind of sound a little similar. But I'm gonna say
And
is
you guys
Whoopi
have
Goldberg in it?
you guys bring the same energy to the party.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say Whoopi Goldberg. She's in it, right?
Whoopi Goldberg is in Monkey Bone, but your birthday twin is Brendan Fraser. I started you off on an obvious one.
I had no idea.
He was born on December 3rd, 1968. What would you say you have in common with internet favorite Brendan Fraser?
What do I have in common with internet favorite Brendan Fraser? I mean,
Did you receive like you received a super long standing ovation at Cannes, right?
Yes, I did. That's true. And I did win Best Actor for The Whale. Yeah, I think I remember he did a promo for Comedy Central once where he was correcting his name as Fraser and not Frazier or something like that, or maybe it's the other way around. And I'm also very sensitive to my last name being mispronounced when people say Callan or Kalan instead of Kalen. So I think that's what we have in common is we're both prickly about making sure our last names are pronounced correctly.
I probably pronounced it incorrectly despite having it right in front of me. It is Fraser. So it's not
I think it's Brendan Fraser, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like the radio psychologist we all know.
Brendan Fraser knows what to do with scrambled eggs and tossed salad.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes, baby, the blues are calling.
Yeah, of course. He's been very open, I think, about how the Blues have been calling him at times.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I think an open struggle with depression. I think would be the other thing I have in common with Brendan Fraser.
Elliot says while laughing.
Hey, you gotta laugh.
That's
Stu,
what
come on.
what you do. You gotta laugh.
You gotta laugh.
Gotta laugh.
Sad clown. It makes sense.
Your next movie is from 2009, and it is titled Chloe, an erotic thriller, where Julianne Moore hires Amanda Seyfried to test her husband Liam Neeson's faithfulness, but instead, Moore and Seyfried end up fucking each other in a film I can only assume was made as the answer to some horny prayer I made while asleep. Directed by Canadian art house fave Adam Agoyan.
Oh.
Chloe.
I'm gonna
Who do you
say
think?
Chloe.
I'm gonna say Adam Agoyan.
I'm afraid you're incorrect, and this one is a trick. Both Amanda Seyfried and Julianne Moore were born on December 3rd.
Oh, I did not. So you think they celebrated a double birthday during the making of the movie?
Yeah. Seyfried in 85, Moore in 60. So they are birthday buds together in Chloe. What do you think you have?
If you ever want to see a movie where two people with the same birthday have sex, well, Chloe is it.
If that's your specific kink.
Yep.
Check out Chloe in your local library.
They both get to use the "but it's my birthday" argument, right, Dan? You know what I'm talking about.
I guess so. What do you think you have in common with these two fine actresses?
It's hard for me to think. I mean, we all breathe oxygen in and let carbon dioxide out. We all have to bring in food and excrete waste. That's all I can think of.
Oh man, he's going to use this answer for everyone.
Yeah,
I'm open to suggestions.
But let's see. I think Amanda Seyfried had showed some real comic talent in Mean Girls.
Yeah, and she's kind of nerdy in Jennifer's Body, right? Like she wears glasses in that, right?
Yep.
So there's that.
Yeah.
And I assume that, like in Shortcuts, you argue with your spouse with no pants or underwear on a lot.
I don't know about a lot, but it's happened. Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So that's what you have in common with Julianne Moore.
Yeah.
Or at least her Shortcuts character.
We also are known for performing with strong Boston accents, like she did in 30 Rock, and I did in that promo. Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Perfect.
See, you just go digging and you find all these connections.
Yeah, you find gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
The next film from 2001, Moulin Rouge. Baz Luhrmann's anachronistic musical extravaganza about love and pop music in the famously sexy Parisian nightclub. Starring Nicole Kidman, Ewan McGregor, Jim Broadbent, and John Leguizamo not playing a cartoon monkey, but instead famous artist Toulouse-Lautrec with cartoon energy. We rewatched, Audrey and I rewatched 80% of this recently because we saw the Broadway show, which it was fine. We didn't care for it that much. It mostly made us appreciate the movie, which held up well. So, what do you think? What do you think your birthday twin is? Could be, perhaps is someone completely unmentioned thus far.
Oh, okay.
Don't look at this so much as a game as
I would say
content for our podcast.
I'm throwing in a guess. Here.
Yeah.
I'm jumping in here. Based just on Elliot's general vibe and attitude, I would say Little Kim from the Lady Marmalade song.
It's a solid guess.
I think I'm gonna have to. I know it's not. So there's no. Let's see. What about Madonna? There's a Madonna song in there, right?
There's they used Material Girl as part of the Diamonds medley that introduces Nicole Kidman. But your birthday twin, my friend, is Ozzy Osbourne, who is one of the voices of the Green Fairy. Kylie Minogue is the on-screen Green Fairy and does some of the singing and noises. But when the fairy does a rock and roll scream, that's Ozzy.
I knew Ozzy Osbourne was a birthday twin of mine. I didn't know he was in Moulin Rouge. Yeah.
December 3rd, 1948. What do you think you have in common with Ozzy Osbourne?
We both love metal. We both...
Bats and chickens.
Love eating bats. Yeah.
We
Yeah,
love
you-
eating bats. Yeah, we love both. We're both carnivores. We both have trouble hearing sometimes. As I'm getting older, my hearing is getting worse, and I have to assume his
Mhm.
is non-existent at this point.
Do you wander around your house like Yoda, complaining to your family?
I mean, yeah, pretty. Yeah, I think so. That sounds
yeah,
about
I
right.
feel
Yeah.
like that sounds like Elliot to me. Okay, well, we found out
Wow,
a lot here.
This is
Yeah.
this is going really well.
One Osborne. Yeah.
The next movie is Girls Trip,
Mhm.
2017. The raunchy, woman-led, we're all going on a sexy trip to New Orleans comedy hit starring Regina Hall, Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Tiffany Haddish. Directed by Malcolm D. Lee, who did Undercover Brother, but also, unfortunately, Space Jam: A New Legacy. So, a checkered history. I saw Girls Trip on a plane, as I do many movies.
Uh-huh.
I was loving it, but we landed 20 minutes before the end, so I went home and rented it to see the ending,
They got you.
only to discover that the comedy parts had ended and we just had these soggy, sentimental making up parts at the end that I probably could have gone without, but still very funny.
You got closure. It makes sense. To
I got
me.
closure.
Yeah.
Not disclosure.
No.
Very
Or
different.
We got
that
that. We got
closure.
that last week.
Dan, I don't
Don't
like that.
pretend like you didn't like that one. Come on. Who do you think your birthday twin is, Elliot? Who do you think you share a birthday?
That's 4 stars in that movie.
Who are the stars in it again?
You got Regina Hall.
Uh-huh.
You got Queen Latifah.
Yeah.
You got Jada Pinkett Smith, and you got Tiffany Haddish.
Show me Queen Latifah.
No, your birthday twin is Tiffany Haddish.
Oh.
Just 1 year off, I believe. No, 2 years off. December 3rd, 1979.
Oh,
1 year off of me.
but that's not your birthday.
Yeah.
No.
That was
Almost
your
his
birthday.
year. Almost his year twin.
Yeah, my year twin. Otherwise known as someone who's the same age.
Yes.
You only have millions of those. Yeah.
So
So-
Tiffany Haddish, of course, I think the parallels are clear. I think Elliot, I think Tiffany Haddish.
When I look in a mirror, that's what I see. Tiffany Haddish. Yeah.
Big comedic force.
Mm-hmm.
Fearless.
Not afraid to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She played a detective on the after party. You've got kind of a boy detective vibe.
Sure, I guess. Yeah, that's possible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think we did it.
Yeah.
There's one more. There's one
Okay.
more. In the interests of keeping things tight,
Yeah.
that
yeah,
double
yeah. Oh, we
one
did it.
counted for
We
2.
nailed it.
So
Okay.
that
Really?
was my
Oh,
scheme.
okay, that's seems like not really
Oh,
fair.
wow.
Like I didn't get as much as Stuart, but that's okay.
It's
What
one
you
of Dan's
get is
dastardly
you
schemes. I mean, what are you going to do?
what you get is you get out of this many in time for your heart out that you mentioned earlier.
That's true. I do have a meeting to go to that I have to drive to across town. Yeah.
Yeah. So the final film is from 1993. We all remember it. Reckless Kelly. The second film on this list I have not seen. So again, I turn to the IMDb synopsis.
I've definitely seen this movie. Let me
Uh-huh.
interrupt. I watched Reckless Kelly the first time I ever dropped acid. We watched
What?
We watched Captain Ron and Reckless Kelly.
Uh-huh.
And we also played a shitload of Killer Instinct in my friend John Klipstein's basement. I remember watching it and being like, this is the funniest fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. And I was like quoting it for days, and I've never watched it again.
Yeah, I
can't
don't think
really
we should.
I just
think it
remember
would-
there is a character named Robin Banks in it.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. That would only spoil your experience of Reckless Kelly, which is
Starring
According-
Yahoo Serious. Yeah.
Famous midnight movie. People just dropping acid, getting high, going to see Reckless Kelly.
Man.
described as the Australian Robin Hood. Kelly is a bank robber, a pop culture hero, and video shop owner. This modern story tells how he is furious when a Japanese company wants to buy his band's farm. So I'm sure that's not insensitive in any way.
Probably no.
And the movie features such respected actors as Melora Hardin and Hugo Weaving. And, of course, it
Yeah, it's made in
stars...
Australia. Yeah.
Yeah, it stars, was written and directed by Australian comedian Yahoo Serious during his brief flirtation with international success, and one tidbit from Yahoo Serious's Wikipedia page.
Mhm.
In August 2000, Yahoo Serious sued the search engine Yahoo for trademark infringement. The case was thrown out because Serious could not prove that he sells products or services under the name Yahoo, and therefore could not prove that he suffered harm or confusion due to the search engine. So a standing issue for Yahoo Serious. He was unable to take his case to court. So who do you think your birthday twin is in this whole morass, this whole mishmash of things?
I mean, it better be Yahoo Serious, right?
Or Ned Kelly. Was it Ned Kelly?
Stuart, you're correct. Your birthday twin is Ned Kelly,
Oh, the actual person.
the folk hero Australian outlaw who inspired Reckless Kelly. I don't have the last one here. I forgot to get.
Oh, he forgot to.
here.
Great. Well, then
but,
I'll mention a missed opportunity, Dan, is you could have chosen Apocalypse Now, because I am
Mhm.
also a birthday twin with Joseph Conrad, whose book
Mhm.
Heart of Darkness Apocalypse Now is based on.
Mhm.
Or you could have chosen any home movie of an old birthday, since I have a twin. I have an actual birthday twin, a twin
That's
sister
true.
who was born on the same day as
But-
me from the
but-
same womb.
But what
Thanks for clarifying.
movie was she in that I could point to?
Yeah. What like feature film?
Jurassic
Yeah.
Park 3.
Oh, okay.
No, she wasn't really in that. If only. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would
Yeah.
be great.
If she's
no.
just listed as additional dinosaur sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elliot, what would you say you have in common with Ned Kelly? Just sort of an outlaw attitude?
Yeah, I mean, we're both rebels. We're both we refuse to be tied down. We refuse to play
Yeah.
by the
I
rules.
feel like
Uh,
you do both those things a lot.
Yeah, you get
No,
tied
no.
down and you
I
play
don't
by the
think so.
rules.
I don't think so. We're both Australian.
Wow, he's gone way off.
We both have a last name that starts with K. You can't take that away from
There
me.
you go.
Yeah,
That's
it has
actually
an L
true.
in
The
it.
letter K.
Mhm,
There you
Yep.
go. So
Yeah, no,
I
you're-
share a couple letters with the famous outlaw Ned Kelly.
Yeah. Well, this was a podcast. No one could argue with that.
Nope.
Good try, but I think that factually you will find.
You'll be thrown out of court on a standing issue. Should you try?
Mhm. It
why
would
are
be
you
like
suing us?
Yahoo Serious arguing that Yahoo, the search engine, can't exist.
That is the idea that he has the rights to the word Yahoo is pretty ridiculous. That's a ridiculous argument. Yahoo Serious.
Yeah.
He could not be serious at that moment,
No.
right?
Yeah. You could have put a little more Chandler Bing on that line, but that's okay.
Do you think he sells T-shirts that say "Why so serious" and it's a picture of him, Yahoo Serious, preps,
Yeah.
and his young Einstein hair, gone crazy look
Yeah, that he's in the bootleg T-shirt business.
Yeah.
He's like,
of himself.
He's
Yeah.
bootlegging his own face.
yeah. He's like, dear boardwalk stores, I have a product for all those T-shirts of Marilyn Monroe with photoshopped tattoos and pistols in her hands.
In reparations, I demand a bunch of Rasta Bart shirts, please.
Oh man,
Yeah.
nothing like a bootleg Bart.
I need at least one T-shirt of Mickey Mouse puffing on a joint. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Love.
I
Why
want-
serious?
I want Rick and Morty, I don't know, dressed up in like something kind of cool, like cool clothes, maybe looking like they're rappers or something.
Yeah,
I will
cool
accept. I will accept a Ninja Turtle shirt where the coloring is wrong and the bandanas are all the wrong color, or a T-shirt of Barack Obama as Superman dunking a basketball, which is a real shirt that I saw
Yeah.
being sold on the streets
That's
of New York.
amazing. Well, anyway, happy birthday to me in the future or the past when you're listening to this. And happy birthday to you guys when it comes around to your birthdays.
I mean, I guess it's both in the future and the
I
past,
know, I
Dan.
created a
It
weird
happens once a year too. Yeah.
paradox.
So this
And-
is a tradition. From now on, you listeners should be listening to this episode on your birthday every
Yeah.
year.
Every year, put it on. Your
Uh-huh.
family will say, why again
Uh-huh.
are we doing this?
Turn your laptop speakers.
Seems like
that
a
you plug
flimsy
in.
premise to build a tradition around, but
Yeah.
And you-
Aircast this podcast to your family's TV so they can't escape it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just get ready for them to be confused when it abruptly switches subjects from Garfield to birthdays.
Yeah.
no, that's
Dan,
going to
you
be everyone's favorite
Make sure
part
your
every
fucking
year.
seatbelts are on.
They'll be like,
Watch
here it
out.
comes.
You always bring a new person in who hasn't heard the episode, so you can watch them experiencing it. Yeah,
I thought this was about Garfield.
Mhm.
Oh,
reminds
no,
me
my
of the
friend.
reaction video I saw years ago of someone had taken Toy Story 3 and edited it so that as they're going into the furnace, it
Yeah.
just fades to black and cuts to credits and showed that to their family. And their mom was like, "What? That's it? That's how it ends?"
So good. What a what a great prank.
It means you have to watch all of Toy Story 3 to get to that moment. Toy Story 3 is a great movie. It's fun to watch. But
Yeah.
the idea that like we're going to sit down and watch this movie, you watch the whole thing, you change the ending. It's fun.
Well, think of this podcast as a prank we've played on you, the listener,
Yeah.
but like a fun one that you enjoyed.
Oh, yeah. One of those pranks where you're just like, oh, you guys, you're not mad.
What scamps?
Shrimp
This is a
scampies.
podcast that's on the Maximum Fun Network. Go to MaximumFun.org to check out other great podcasts on our network. It is edited, produced, made to sound good by Alex Smith, who goes by the name Howell Doughty. Check out his new album, which is great. I listened to it just the other day and enjoyed it very much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being with us. Tune in next week. But until then, I've been Dan McCoy.
I've been Stuart Wellington.
And I've been not birthday boy Elliot Kalin.
So wait a minute. Can there be scampies that don't have shrimp, or is scampi a shrimp-specific food?
Let's look it up. That's the end of the episode. I'm turning the thing
I
on.
want that to be your new catchphrase, Dan. Let's look it up.
Maximum Fun
A worker-owned network.
of artist-owned shows.
Supported
Directly
by you.